Hello there, boys and girls. Welcome to our story time. Today, we are going to learn about a very clever boy who grew up to change the world. His name was Nikola Tesla. This story is important because it shows how a curious child can grow up to make amazing things that help people everywhere. On a stormy night in 1856, in a small village called Smiljan, a baby boy was born. This was Nikola Tesla. His mother said that the lightning outside meant he would be special. How right she was. The thunder crashed and the lightning flashed across the sky as baby Nikola took his first breaths. The villagers said it was a sign that this child would have a connection with the power of nature. Little Nikola was not like other children. He had a very good brain that could think of amazing ideas. Even as a small boy, he liked to take apart his toys to see how they worked. He was always asking, why, and how. His parents often found him staring at everyday things like water wheels or windmills, watching closely how they moved. He would sit for hours by the small stream near his home, making tiny water wheels out of bits of wood. Nikola had a brother named Dane, who everyone thought was very clever. Sadly, Dane died when he was 12 after falling from a horse. This made Nikola very sad, but it also made him want to work hard to make his parents proud. After his brother died, young Nikola tried to read all the books his brother had read. He wanted to be as clever as Dane had been, maybe even cleverer. Nikola's father was a priest who had lots of books. Every night, Father Tesla would read poems and stories to the family. His mother was good at making things with her hands. She could invent small tools to help with housework even though she never went to school. From his father, Nikola learned to love reading and to remember things very well. From his mother, he learned to be good at making things and solving problems. Sometimes, when Nikola closed his eyes, he would see bright pictures in his mind. These pictures would flash like lightning. At first, this scared him, and he didn't tell anyone about them. His parents worried when they saw him staring into space. Later, as he grew up, he used these strange pictures to help him think of new ideas for machines and inventions. He called them his mind pictures and said they were as clear as if he were looking at real things. Young Nikola had a cat named Makak that he loved very much. He would talk to Makak as if the cat could understand him, sharing all his ideas and dreams. One cold, dry winter day, Nikola was stroking Makak's fur in the dark and saw tiny sparks of light coming from the cat's back. This made him very curious about electricity. "What makes the light, Father?" he asked. His father tried to explain about something called static electricity, but young Nikola had many more questions. Years later, this early wonder about the sparks from his cat's fur helped him think about how to make and use electricity in new ways. When Nikola went to school, his teachers were amazed at how clever he was. He could do sums in his head faster than others could write them down. The teacher would sometimes think Nikola was cheating because he solved problems so quickly without writing anything down. But he wasn't cheating. His brain just worked very fast. Sometimes the other children were not kind to him because he was different. They called him odd and strange because he didn't play the same games they did. Instead of playing catch or tag, Nikola would be trying to catch insects to study them or building tiny models of watermills. Nikola didn't have many toys like children today. Instead, he made his own playthings from things he found around the house and in the fields. Once, he made a small motor powered by June bugs. He caught the insects, attached them to a tiny wheel, and watched as their flapping wings made the wheel turn. His mother wasn't very happy about this experiment, but it showed how creative little Nikola could be. Even as a boy, Nikola dreamed of making wonderful machines. He once tried to make a flying machine using umbrellas. He climbed up on the roof of the barn with several umbrellas tied together, planning to float down to the ground. Of course, it didn't work, and he fell, hurting himself quite badly. His parents were very upset, but Nikola didn't give up on his dreams. He just kept thinking and trying new ideas. "Next time I'll make the wings bigger," he told his worried mother as she bandaged his cuts. As Nikola got older, his father wanted him to become a priest like himself. But young Tesla had different ideas. He wanted to be an engineer and work with electricity. One day, when Nikola was very ill with a fever, his father promised that if he got better, he could go to engineering school instead of becoming a priest. Nikola did get better. Some say because he wanted so much to study engineering. When Nikola was older, he went to school in the big city of Graz. He worked very hard and read many books, often studying by candlelight long after other students had gone to sleep. The professors were impressed by his memory. He could recite entire books after reading them just once. He wanted to learn all about electricity and machines. Sometimes he would forget to eat because he was so busy thinking about his ideas. Nikola had some funny habits even as a young student. He hated pearls and couldn't sit near anyone wearing them. He was very neat and always used exactly 18 napkins to clean his silverware before eating. He counted his steps when he walked and had to circle a building 3 times before entering it. The other students thought these habits were strange, but they were just part of what made Tesla special. This was just the start of Nikola Tesla's story. The curious little boy from a small village would grow up to be one of the most important inventors ever. He would help bring electric light to homes all around the world, invent the radio, and create many other things we still use today. All because a little boy wasn't afraid to ask questions and dream big dreams. Nikola Tesla's childhood shows us that it's good to be curious, to ask questions, and to keep trying even when things don't work out the first time. It shows us that it's okay to be different and to think in your own special way. Who knows what amazing things you might do one day if you follow your own curious mind. So remember, boys and girls, keep asking why and how, just like little Nikola did. Maybe someday your name will be in storybooks too, all because you were curious about the world around you. The end.